Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Soccer Mania show.
Yeah,
so today we are going to be talking about Youri Tielemans' transfer to Man United. Okay, so Tielemans to Man United. What do you think about the transfer? Is it a fair transfer?
You really want me to go first?
Yeah.
You want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah,
My point is, Carrick have not really spent a lot of time in Manchester United for us to say, oh, would he fit into Carrick's system, right? So, but in terms of his ability, I think he's a good player. But however, the only thing that I'm not really liking is the fact that I feel like he has a little bit of he's naturally slow. When it comes to transitioning in a defensive phase. Let's say, for instance, Manchester United are trying to probably counter. Maybe there's a quick counter against Manchester United and he's trying to track back. Tielemans is extremely slow. In fact, I watched one clip, and I was telling shows that I'm definitely going to show him that clip. In that clip, you see, this clip was when Tielemans was still playing for Leicester City before he moved to Aston Villa, and there was I think Declan Rice was also playing for West Ham. He was carrying the ball forward. I think it was a quick counter, and Tielemans he gave up easily because he knew he was not physically, he was not fast enough to track back. So I think for a team like Manchester United, that from time to time, playing against bigger teams in the Premiership. Now, when I mean bigger teams, not in terms of stature, but in terms of right now, no man, you are not even in the top 14. So I think he might struggle. And
is that what you believe?
Yeah. Well, then I feel like he has a bit of defensive, maybe a lack of defensive awareness or sometimes. So, but aside from that, he's a good player.
Well, I would disagree with your point.
Okay.
Yeah, I would so much disagree with your point.
That's
in the sense that, as a Man United team that we have now, we have currently we have Bruno Fernandes as our AMF, attacking midfielder, or in camp our number 10. Now we have Kobe Mainoo as our CDM. Now,
is Kobe Mainoo a CDM?
Yeah, he's playing as a CDM for Man United, and he plays as a CDM. He plays as he doesn't even play as box to box for me, because he was playing with Casemiro as.
But Casemiro was the 4, right?
Yes, the two of them were playing. We have, as Man United, we have two defending and defensive midfielder. Wow. You understand? Yes. We have only Bruno as our 10, as our AMF. So now buying Tielemans, I think with Mainoo being a very, I won't say Mainoo is aggressive. He's not aggressive. He's a very slow player. He's a very slow midfielder.
You know that he's slow.
Yeah, Mainoo is slow, and he has that composure.
But don't you think?
And now, why I said I disagree with your point is, why I said I disagree with your point is, when you talk about Tielemans, Youri Tielemans is a very, very very versatile player, and is when you said he's very slow, I don't agree with that point. But probably the video or the clip you watched, maybe
not just that clip. Yeah, I use that clip to emphasize, but even if Tielemans, one of his weaknesses is slow.
Tielemans has slow pace. Tielemans has a very good vision. He's very fast in decision making, and with his forward passes, is one of the top 5 players in Premier League with forward passes. He plays football. He plays with so much intensity that when you give him ball, he knows what to do before the ball even gets to him. You understand? So when you say he's very slow, I don't understand what you mean by that, because I don't know the kind of clip you watched. Probably the clip you watched, probably he was already tired or something. But when you talk about forward passes, he's very good with forward passes. He's very good with attacking. He's very good with interception. So now we have Mainoo, who is very good with defending. Now we have someone like Tielemans supporting him, and because we all know that Mainoo is very slow. When you talk about attacking, he's very slow. He's a very sluggish player. He wants to show swagger. He wants to control the game. But now we have Bruno Fernandes, who is very fast with decision making, and he can make forward passes. Bruno can give you a final pass. You understand? Now we have two defending midfielders. You have two CDM at his back. Man U will lose possession easily. So now we having those two players in our midfield, don't you think it's going to give them that balance that we've been lacking for so long? Because Man United, we've been lacking that balance. Even when Casemiro was there, Casemiro is a very rash player. He makes fouls. He can commit any player at any time, any given time. So now we have someone like Tielemans that is well composed. He's a Premier League proven midfielder. He's not maybe coming from another league. We all know his ability. Now, someone that played for Aston Villa that won Europa League, he is from the top 4 team, and we bought him for £35 million. I don't see any reason why we should say he's not a good deal for Man United and he's not a good fit for Man United. When you talk about him being sluggish, he's not going to be the one controlling all the whole.
So I think you are getting it wrong,
okay.
Right? And so me saying that that he's slow, it's not so. Most times a midfielder, you're always going to be in race, with your, tracking back against an opposition team, especially during counter attacks.
Okay.
That's one of his weaknesses. He's not fast enough,
no.
Right? There are some midfielders even some defenders, right, that they have a lot of pace. Let's say, for instance, William Saliba. I'm not even talking about because he's an Arsenal fan. I'm talking about raw pace. William Saliba is fast. If an attacker gets in front of William Saliba, he has the pace, to track back and meet him up. There are some midfielders that have that pace as well, but Tielemans lacks that pace. And for the type of position that is going to be playing for Manchester United, I think it might be an issue. That's where I'm talking about. I'm not saying, is the pace of when it comes to tracking back. I think the top 5 midfielders last season for the Premier League in terms of tracking back and their defensive awareness, Tielemans is not even part of the top 10. Caicedo, Rice, Bruno Guimaraes were top 3. Even Tielemans is not even top 5.
Now, when you have someone that slow playing with Menu, we all know Menu.
But you said Menu is also slow.
Menu is slow.
So imagine playing too slow.
Menu is slow with ball. When you talk about football, when you talk about forward passes, Menu is slow with decision making. Menu is slow. But when you talk about interception, when you talk about marking the opponent, or when you talk about tracking back, Menu is not slow. We all know that he is not slow. So now you have someone like Tielemans trying to complement him, being his side guy. He's already. I think that midfield is already perfect. It is perfect because now you have 2 midfielders that can control the game, because we know Menu's ability is composure on the ball, so he can control the ball. Now we have a player that has vision. Now we have Bruno that has vision already. We all know that Bruno's ability is to make final passes, to break down opponent defense. Now we now have Tielemans as his complement guy. Now we have a very perfect CTM, which is Menu, that can track back. So every players have one particular quality that they lack. You understand? But with the quality that Tielemans is lacking, I don't think that is going to be an issue for Man United. So he's a perfect fit for
Fair
Man
enough.
United.
I'm not going to ask you this question.
Okay.
Before, this whole Tielemans transfer was under 48 hours. It was just very quick.
Yes.
Before Tielemans came, I asked you this similar question when Andre Santos was Man purchased him last week. I asked you this similar question. So before Tielemans was bought, were you actually even thinking of him? If you were to say, if somebody asked you from a neutral perspective that, you remind you from what center midfielder would you want Manchester United to buy? Ideally, would you have mentioned Tielemans your top 3 targets?
I won't have, because initially I never thought that.
No, I'm not even talking about you never thought.
Okay.
Forget the fact that whether the team will release him or not. Top 3 midfielders that you wanted Manchester United to go for this season, would you have mentioned Tielemans?
I won't have honestly, because I was not actually looking in that direction. I was thinking of someone like Tchouaméni.
Okay.
I was thinking of maybe Anderson before Man City. Before Man City I jacked Anderson. I was actually thinking of Anderson, but I think what Man United are trying to do now is they are taking advantage of their good season and of their good performance they had towards the end of last season, which I think I said it earlier in our past video that is what I feel Arsenal should be doing, because Arsenal, they are the champion. Now, you being the champion, you have that attraction that every players want to, they want to come to your club because they are the current champion. So since you know that you have that ability at the moment, you are supposed to make use of it. You are not supposed to be the one begging for players. Arsenal
are not begging for players. What players are we begging for?
Now, for Arsenal to have made a bid of 60 million pounds for Bruno Guimaraes, I think for Newcastle to have rejected that deal, rejected the amount, rejected the price tag, I feel Arsenal are not supposed to be pushing further for the transfer, because now you having to be the champion of Premier League and you want to buy someone that is 29 years old for that price of 60 million pounds, and the club is still saying no, I still want to push further and increase the bid to 100 million. I don't think that makes sense. Now let me tell you a point. Let me give you a point. You know, the issue that top teams have been having is whenever they become champion, they tend to like spend big money, go for big names. Now go for maybe big names, let me say that. And at the end of the day, when the big names get to the team, they tend not to perform, or they tend to perform to the standard that they've set for them. Because why? The players that are supposed to buy at some price range that are not supposed to be too much, then you end up spending big on them. When they get to your club, they are going to have this pressure that they want to prove themselves, they want to show. You understand? So now, Arsenal having to buy Bruno Guimaraes for more than 60 million, I don't think that makes sense.
Now, I'm going
now,
to
let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. Now, we can all see that when Man City were the odd team, were the top 10 winning the Premier League, we can see that the players Man City were signing them were players that of high quality with very low amounts. When you talk about Haaland, everybody were already thinking that Haaland will be like 150 million pounds, this and that. Before we know, Man City signed him for 50 million pounds. It was so fast, and it was surprising, because we felt like, why would you sign someone of Haaland's quality for 50 million pounds? You understand? So now look at Liverpool last season, because they won the league. They started signing 150 million Isak for 130 million pounds. They signed Waite from Bundesliga. Then they signed what's this guy? I've forgotten the name of this striker they signed last season that is having injury now. Now you look at that, when these players got to the team, they started having issues. They were unable to perform. So why would you, as the champion, be going for a player of that age for 60 million pounds? And at the end of the day, they are still rejecting. That means you are not showing that you are the current champion. Players are not attracted to your team, and you should attract good players to your team without spending big. Because
I think you made your point enough.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, you are trying to make a point, but the example you are saying are not really gelling at all.
Okay.
For instance, you said Arsenal, they are the current champions, and they should be use the opportunity to attack. Now you are saying, as the current champion, you are the hot cake. That means that you should make yourself, you are an attractive figure at that point in time. So the big team that before that, normally when it comes to players like big players like Vinicius Junior, like Mbappe, they cannot even mention Arsenal to it, because everybody just laugh of why will Mbappe come to Arsenal. But now that you are the current champion, are you not supposed to be in, even if you are not going to sign top players like that, you can put yourself in those kind of conversations because you are the champion. You understand? So now we are going for, when you're talking about the top 5 Premiership midfielders, Guimaraes is there. Arsenal are showing ambition, because now we are signing players of that top quality. You are not saying, you are contradicting yourself by saying, as the current champions, we shouldn't be going. And the real sense is, as current champion, that is at that moment in time, because you are what, you can attract big top players. So are you now saying that Arsenal should be going for midfielders like Andy Santos from Chelsea, or Tielemans from Manchester United, players that we were not even signing when we were in top 4? We should now be signing them when we are champions. So you are making your point, but you are contradicting yourself. Now you are saying you took an example, you made an example about Manchester City, saying that when they brought the league, that they bought Haaland for 57. It's only Haaland that Manchester United bought, and Manchester City bought, that we know was a superstar. Haaland came directly from Dortmund. He was not really a superstar there, but he was an hot prospect. And Manchester Manchester City bought him from Dortmund. He was the hottest young prospect there. He was not as established as he was now, right? And that was the only person that. Wait, I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to make a point. Okay. That was the only person that Manchester United bought. Manchester City. Sorry, I'm saying Manchester United. The Manchester City bought for that price that everybody felt it could have been more expensive. But most of the purchases that Manchester City bought, they are ridiculous prices. I don't even want to talk about this current Anderson that they are buying for 130 million. What about Jack Grealish for 100 million? Jack Grealish was 100 million then. Everybody knew Jack Grealish was a brilliant player for Manchester, but it was never 100 million. After 2 seasons in Manchester City, where did Jack Grealish now?
Do you not think?
So what are you saying?
Now, do you not think that is not the same mistake you are making now?
What mistake am I making?
That is the same mistake you want to be making now as Arsenal, because you signed Bruno Guimaraes for 60 million or more. It means that you are going to be making the same mistake.
We are not making the mistake. We are attracting
by buying
we are attracting the best midfielders, one of the best midfielders in the whole wide world. He's different. He's already an established player.
But you should not buy more than 60 million pounds.
That's not for you to say. It's the price that the selling team wants to give that you negotiate with. It's not Arsenal's fault.
It's not Arsenal's fault because you are putting yourself in that position. You see,
are we putting ourselves in that position? Don't you think it's Manchester City that started it by buying Anderson for 130 million?
The reason why I said you are putting yourself in that position is this: if you are bidding 60 million pounds for someone that is 29 years old, let's forget the fact that he's one of the top 5 midfielders in the Premier League, and you are bidding 60 million pounds for someone that is 29 years old, and the bid is being rejected, and you tend to increase the bid to 100 million pounds. Someone of 29 years old, though, you tend to increase the bid to 100 million pounds, and you feel if other players of that same quality are being offered to you, do you think those kind of players, those kind of clubs will not put a very high price tag on their
what players of same what players are on the same quality of Bruno Guimaraes are that same age? Don't even mention. What players are on the same quality as Bruno Guimaraes that are around that same age?
Yes, Anderson and Bruno Guimaraes
same age, they're around that same age. Mention how many 28, 29-year-old players that are Bruno Guimaraes talent, quality. Don't even mention Tielemans. Mention someone. Give me at least 2.
That are of his
quality and talent, yes.
Well,
there are 28, 29 years. Mention
in the Premier League or outside
Premiership.
Well, to me, I don't see much. But what I'm just saying is, let me not complete my point. Don't you think that sometimes when it's time because of quality, don't you think sometimes you even overpay because the person is what is a quality player? For instance, when Ronaldo was going to Juventus, Ronaldo was in his 30s when he signed for Juventus, and he signed for over 100 million. Yes or no? So did anybody agree that why are you buying a 31, 32-year-old player for over 100 million? Because everybody knew it was Ronaldo. Everybody know that he's what, even as at now that Ronaldo is 40. If Ronaldo can still command maybe a fee of 10, 15, 20 million at that age because he's Ronaldo, because the quality is there. When you want to buy quality, you don't think about the age. Bruno Guimaraes is a midfielder. He can still play for the next 4 or 5 years. What are you saying? Well, if that's what suits you as an Arsenal fan, you feel that is a fair deal. But for me, I think that is going to actually have a repercussion on the longer run. Because why? Before you know, you see Arsenal start paying for players at the rate of 150 million. You see them paying for 120 million, and before you know, you start getting lower quality on a high price tag. Because why? You are already setting that bar. Do you think Man United trying to Man United?
Let's even go back to Man U and Tielemans.
Yeah, Man United we've made a lot of bad signings in the past. We made the same mistake with Di Maria, with even Paul Pogba.
So Di Maria was a bad signing.
He was a bad signing.
Di Maria was a bad signing.
He was a bad signing.
Wow.
Yes,
Di Maria was a bad
signing. Di Maria was a bad signing. Di Maria did not spend 2 seasons.
Di Maria was a bad.
Yes, Di Maria was not.
Don't you think it's the coach that doesn't know how to know him? Di Maria is an absolutely fantastic player. Don't you think it was the who was the coach?
Listen to me. Listen to me. You are not saying. What we are arguing here is not a matter of player being of good quality. We all knew Di Maria was a good quality player. We are saying him coming to Man United, was he a good signing for Man United, or did he fit into the system?
That's the coach's problem. So if the coach cannot get the best of his players, then he's a bad coach.
So that is what we are arguing here.
You said Di Maria was a bad signing. I think he's a bad player.
He was a bad signing for Man United. It was a bad business.
He's the coach that couldn't take the best out of it.
When we are arguing about Bruno Guimaraes, we are not saying Bruno Guimaraes is not a good player. We're not saying he's not of a good quality, but we are talking about business here. That's why I said buying a 29 years old player to Arsenal at the age of at that rate of 60 million pounds or more, is it a good business for Arsenal? We are not talking about the players.
How was Di Maria even a bad business?
He was.
How was he? The price. How much did he buy?
How much did
How much did you buy Di Maria?
Di Maria was 70 million pounds.
70 million for his talent. Then one of the hottest in the world. Was he a bad signing?
70 million.
Was he a bad signing?
He was a bad signing.
How was he a bad signing? Because the coach was not good enough.
Don't tell me the coach was not good.
So what?
Don't tell me coach.
What if it was Guardiola?
Anything that now you want to tell me that? Now listen.
I'm hearing.
Now listen. You said Man City signed what's this guy's name? Grealish for 100 million pounds. Now Grealish getting to Man City and being a flop at the rate of 100 million pounds, do you want to tell me that it is because Guardiola is not a good coach? No, answer my question. Do you want to tell me that it is because Guardiola is not a good coach?
Is not a flop.
Wow.
Grealish is not a flop. He's not a flop. But he did not perform to the best of his ability. But he's not a flop. He won a treble at Man City now, and he started all their games as a treble winner for Manchester City. What are you telling me?
Don't tell me.
He started all their games.
Don't tell me Grealish. Don't tell me Grealish.
He's not a flop. He did not play the way he did not play the way he was playing for Aston Villa, but he was not a flop.
He was a flop.
Somebody that started with a treble winning team and started most of the games a flop.
You want to buy someone of that quality?
Wow.
You bought him for 100 million, someone of that quality, and he got to your team and is underperforming in your team than the way he performed in the team that he bought him from as 100 million pounds player. You are now telling me that he did not flop. What are you saying?
He did not flop. Now, then I'm going to put it to you. You know that tactics of Pep Guardiola was the one that was not really helping Grealish. Everybody was saying, even the top pundits were saying it. You know the tactics were not really helping Grealish. And it's, wait, I'm not using
you're already bringing it back to coach's fault now.
I'm bringing now, yes, because the tactics of Pep Guardiola did not really favor Grealish, because Grealish, when he was at something, everybody knew he used to dribble to the. Imagine he was just passing. It was as if his confidence was gone. Same thing with Di Maria. Man U, how was Van Gaal the type of coach that Di Maria was going to thrive in?
It doesn't mean now.
You understand? So sometimes a quality player might not perform because the coach might not be not giving the right system.
And that is what I'm saying. It's always comes back to what I've been arguing saying. Now, you tell me now that you buying a player, and at the end of the day, he gets to your team and he did not perform. Forget the quality of the player. If anything that makes him to not perform and you bought him for a big money, that is a waste. That's what I'm telling you. That is a waste, and that's not a good business. It is not a good business. That's why I said, if you are buying Bruno Guimaraes, now, man, you are buying Tielemans for 35 million pounds. We all know that Tielemans is a very good player. We know his quality. He's a Premier League proven player and all of that. So now, we are buying him for 35 million pounds. And if he gets to Man United and he underperforms, it's not going to be a bad business.
Because of
bought him at a very low price.
So
you buying someone, or you buying Bruno Guimaraes. Let's say you end up buying him for 100 million pounds because now they've declined the 60 million pounds that you guys think that's listen. This is the transfer news we are talking about.
Of course,
yeah.
I've never seen 100 million. You are the only person that said 100 million. What I've been seeing was 80 million.
Whether 80 million, whether 100 million. The fact remains that they did not accept the bid of 60 million pounds.
Why would they accept it?
Why would they accept
what
it? Are you saying?
Because it's much more than that.
So now, imagine you now buying him for, let's say, 80 million pounds, 90 million pounds, any amount you end up buying that is more than 60 million pounds, and he gets to your team, then he flops. That is a bad business, because this is someone that is 29 years old. At the end of the day, if you want to say, okay, he's already a flop in our team, let's just try to offload him. Where do you want to? By that time, will have been something around 30 to 31 years. Where do you want to offload someone of 31 years old?
So
how much do you want to?
I want to ask you one question. Yeah. Do you know that whether a player is a good signing or bad signing is not only the money factor that we use to judge a player's performance.
Yes.
So you can sign, for instance, now Manchester United signed Van Persie from Arsenal at the age of 29 years. Yeah, that was one of the biggest lowest point of my life. That it was. We stayed Van Persie during his injury ravaged career, and when he was finally getting fit, he went to Manchester United to win trophy. Back to that situation now. When you guys bought it for 20 million at that point in time, how much did you sell Van Persie?
So
how much did you sell Van Persie?
I can't really.
Van Persie was sold for almost nothing. So are you not going to say that, oh, we bought Van Persie was bought for maybe like 20 something million that I can't really remember. I'm trying to make my point. Okay. At that time, 20 something million was like 50 million now. Mm-hmm. That was more than 10, 15 years ago. But you understand, that was more than 10. I'm trying to make my point. Let me make my point now. Let me make my point.
If you are a serious team, let me make my point. You are saying Van Persie for 20 million.
Will you let me make my point?
Yeah, no, I'm listening.
So you bought Van Persie for 20, let's say almost 30 million pounds and you sold him for almost nothing. Are you not going to say that Van Persie is a bad deal? No, it's a good deal because he won the trophy for him and for the
He was not a flop in Man United.
Why don't you want me to learn?
Okay.
He won the trophy with Manchester United. Basically gave it that season. That was the last trophy. God knows when you are going to win a trophy again. And he shined for 2-3 years before you guys eventually sold him out. You understand?
Okay.
So you cannot call him a bad signing or a bad decision because you bought it for 20-something million, almost 30 million pounds, and you sold it for almost nothing. You understand? Because he gave you the quality. Then that's where I'm going to. So if Arsenal signed Bruno Guimaraes now for let's say
give you the quality.
If Arsenal the issue I'm having is that you're not making me learn.
Alright.
If Arsenal signs Bruno Guimaraes for let's say 80 million pounds now and we win another trophy, let's say win the Premiership again, win Champions League and maybe some couple FA Cups, and then maybe when he was like 30 to 30, we eventually offload him for like 5-10 million. Are you going to tell me it's a bad sign?
It's not a bad sign.
Thank you. So it's not all about the money. If he delivers you trophy, then it's fine. Sometimes when you're signing a quality player, don't think about the money. Even if it's 30 years.
So what is my point? What exactly?
You are saying because of the money that if he does not perform, what if he performs?
That is it. If he performs, it's not a bad signing.
Thank you.
But I'm saying
you're only thinking about it from the money perspective. It's not just money.
I'm saying that was my point. I said if he performs, it's not a bad.
You were hammering
I'm telling you that it is a risk.
You never said it was a risk. You were hammering on the fact that how will you offload him if he does not perform? What if he performs?
If he performs, it's not a bad deal. That's what you're saying. If he performs, it's not a bad deal.
So the point is, regardless of the age of a player, if he's good enough, you go for him. That's the point.
Well, I'm just telling you that it's good to go for a good quality player. I'm just telling you that you, as a champion, you need to make use of that advantage of being the champion. You go for quality players. Going for quality players doesn't mean that you have to pay big money. Because why? You are the champion. Because you are using that privilege. You understand?
And that's they exploit all those one now. So everybody is saying Anderson is 130 million, we are not going over. So what can we do?
I have to go for him because of his quality. I think that is a good deal for you guys. That's a good deal for you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for watching our show to the end of this moment. And please don't forget to follow us on our social media handles on Instagram, TikTok, on our X
and Facebook.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Thank you.